We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed? More innovation?
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the RockShop has it all. Shop online anytime at the RockShop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. The RockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
And so, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Playoff Sunday here at the Curling Stadium Speedy Creek Shootout in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. Today, we're going to start off with quarterfinal action. My name is Jim Nix, and my partner today is Terry Corbin, and we will have Connor Sims handling all of the production for us. So we're looking forward to an interesting game, Terry. Everybody obviously knows everything about Niklas Edin and all of his successes, but very little probably for those of us that aren't in the West of Jacob Libbus.
That's true. I mean, just this is coming from word of mouth from, I believe, the chat the other day, and they said he was this was a young up and coming team here in Alberta. So, I mean, they finished the round robin, I believe, 3-2.
They did, yeah.
Getting into this playoff format here, and I mean, I think when you play these things, that's the first goal is make the playoffs. They've done that. We were fortunate enough to do a couple of games of Niklas's. When we did the game yesterday afternoon or early evening, he played Yanagasawa, and what a phenomenal last end and extra end we had. So just some great shot making. So I've been impressed with the shot making during the event. We've had some blowout games, but I mean, you're going to have those everywhere.
So we're in the first end here. We're joining it a little bit late. We had a little bit of stuff we had to sort out before we were able to come on. We're down to the last few rocks in the first end. And right now, Libbus is in pretty good shape. He's got a couple in the house. He's throwing up a guard here, or a little come around, maybe more so than a guard. But yeah, he's in pretty good position here. And Niklas Edin does have last rock, but it's not a pretty house right now for Edin.
No, and Niklas is going to play the straight draw.
Yeah, I'm thinking, just trying to figure out how many rocks we're through here.
Yeah, I was just looking for the rock counter. I didn't
Yeah,
see it,
I
so
think.
this could be his last rock.
Yeah, I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm trying to think of whether I see. Maybe we'll.
Yeah, I'm trying to count them.
Yeah, we'll know when he goes to the other end when we get to see some rocks. So, yeah, the little bit of anything else I know about Jacob Libbus was, according to the little profiles I read, he lost in the quarterfinals of the Alberta provincials this year, and he did. And we were just told that he did have a win over Jacobs in the Aztec Challenge, where he went 3-3, knocked Jacobs out of the event, and he also had a win in that event over Joel Returnez as well. He had a loss to Joel too, but he did have a win against him. So certainly capable of knocking off the big teams. He's played Edin earlier in this event, and Edin did defeat him, I think, a 7-2 count. So
yes,
this is
I
last
did that
rock.
game,
I see that, Terry. Yeah, last rock come for for Niklas Edin, and some first end trouble.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic of Niklas Edin and his team. They've seemed to always start with the hammer, and more often than not they're scoring too. So what a change to the scenarios that we're accustomed to with Niklas in the first end.
Yeah, Edin did go 5-0 in the round robin, but he was tested a couple of times, including the game that you were just referring to, a 5-4 win over Yanagisawa. And most of the other games he seemed to have pretty good control of. So here's the draw. Sweeper's going pretty hard on it. They're going really hard in this. I don't think he's getting there, and he is not.
No.
We're going to steal of 3 in the first end for Jacob Libbus from Edmonton, Alberta. So a great start, and Libbus will take a 3-0 lead to the second end when we come back.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Saskatchewan, you know Sasktel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With Sasktel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. Sasktel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sasktel.com/sponsorships.
The people have spoken, the votes are in, and the players are ready to rock. At curling's first ever All-Star event, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th, where 13 of the world's best men's and women's curlers face off for a star-studded celebrity pro-am, a unique skills competition, and an all-star skins game you won't want to miss. Got a ticket? We'll see you in Music City. Don't have one? Better hurry. They're going fast. The 2025 TCG All-Star Game, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th. Let's rock.
Hi, I'm Jane.
And I'm Rick, and Jane and I are the owners of Sprague Foods Limited here in Belleville, Ontario, in the Bay of Quinte area. We're a food processing facility, and we can a whole range of products, including soups and sauces and rice pudding and beans.
To keep the game close. So we're back for the second end. We weren't with you for much of the first end, but we will be here now for the following 7 or 8 ends, whatever it takes to declare a winner here on the first day of the playoffs, our first draw of the playoffs here in Swift Current. Took a little while to figure out the winners last night. They had to go down to some last shot draws to see where everybody was at the end of it. But it sorts itself out amazingly well, usually, for those things. You look at them and think, oh my God, we're going to have 5. Even in the, in the national championships, quite often you're looking about Thursday thinking, well, there's definitely going to be tiebreakers. Not now, I know, but when there were tiebreakers. And yeah. So, but magically, it seems to sort of sell out more often than not. So
Yeah, for
Dean's,
sure.
yeah, it's up to see. Dean's won't take too long putting his foot on the gas pedal here, I don't think, Terry.
Yeah, I know. He'll be interested in getting a deuce and getting right back in this. We have, as you mentioned, this is only one game of 4 quarterfinal games. We've also got Rylan Kleider playing Steve Laycock, minus Stephen Laycock with the team. Ming Yu from China playing Jordan McDonald. That's the team I've been really trying to watch, is this Jordan McDonald. And then we've got Klima from Czechia playing Sam Moybrook from Whitby, Ontario.
Yeah, Jordan played really well. We did this game last night, and he played really well. I've done a few of his games. We've been lucky enough to follow some of these teams quite a bit this year, like Moybrook and Jordan McDonald and those guys. And he hasn't been terrific like the last half of the year, I don't think. And it seemed like, but last night he was good. Last night, man, he made everything. So.
Yeah, we did a game of his in the afternoon, but it just goes to show you, like, he played really well, but had one bad throw, and it almost cost him the entire game. But he was, like, they were by far the better team, and Jordan was the better thrower in terms of shots made. But you just missed the wrong one, and look out.
Yeah,
this could be the case here. Like, Nicholas can throw 100% from here on in. Is that one missed draw going to cost him a spot in the semifinals? Stay tuned.
Yeah, for sure. Dean opted for the far outside come around that corner. Came up a little short, quite a bit short, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. So Jacob Libbus now will have his, must be his second stone, I think. Zachary.
I think this is Zachary Aliak.
Yep. Oh, we got our rock counter back. That's helped. That's very good.
Oh, nice. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
I said yesterday that I'm very high maintenance when it comes to this stuff. I need all the help I can get. So anyway. So Dean trying to figure out where best to go here. Looking to maybe just tap that back, keep the yellow around, free up the red a little bit. Dump it in behind the corner guard. That would be a pretty good shot, actually. If you could do that, just even hit it right on the nose, but not remove it. He's going to look at maybe making this more or less a split shot. So all sudden death from here on out, Terry. They just you play till you lose now today, and the goal to be playing in the final at whatever time that is today, 3:00 Mountain Time, I think.
Yeah, well, as I said, I'm keeping my eye on the Jordan McDonald, because as we spoke earlier on in the spiel, Jordan, I think, has to win this and he can't have Rylan Kleider getting to a semifinal berth in order to get that last Olympic trial spot. So the reverse is also true. If Rylan Kleider can get to the semifinals, I don't think it matters what Jordan does.
Right.
Yeah, there's one other little wrinkle in there that involves John Epping too.
Oh,
Because
right.
Epping plays in the Players' Championship. So
Championship.
Kleider has passed Epping on the 2-year list.
Okay.
So as of now, if nothing changes, Kleider is in on the 2-year, and Epping will take the last 1-year spot.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
If McDonald wins, he will pass Kleider on the 1-year list. But if Kleider holds the 2-year, he doesn't look like he still has a spot.
That's right. Yeah.
But Epping has the Players' Championship to go yet. So he could still pass Kleider on the 2-year list.
Oh my
and
God.
it would go back to the 1-year list where McDonald and Kleider are battling.
Oh, dear. Everybody's got that.
That'd be quite a spreadsheet, that thing.
That's right.
Thanks,
true.
Jerry. Jerry Gertz giving us some information on all the possible options to get into the Olympic trials, and there are many. And I don't remember everything he said, and I'm pretty sure, Terry, you might not quite be there. So we'll let you know a little later on today how it looks. That's my answer to
Well,
that. Anyway.
I think the big thing is it nothing's cast in stone as John Epping still has the Players Championship, but there's the 1-year exemption and the 2-year exemption for the trials. So
exactly, yeah. And it sounds like if Kleider can have a good day, then he's going to be in for sure. And Jordan probably, as you said, probably has to win here to have a shot. I think that's what I gathered from it anyway. So Dean looking to still build an end.
Yeah.
This one's, he's got 2 in.
Yeah.
Jacob Libbus has shot rock, but this is the part when you're playing somebody like Edin, you start to get a little nervous. He's got 2. None of them are very good, but they're more. One's totally buried. One's a problem as far as getting to it. So now he's playing the out turn come around, Terry. I think is just trying to.
That's and if he can make this, I mean, he'll take away in all likelihood that both stones of Nicholas's in terms of counting, because he'll 2, and that 2 rock will be right behind the corner guard. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, it needs to stop though.
Yeah,
no, it's okay. Coming to it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If Niklas ever needed to kind of move that, it's accessible, which I suppose if you're Niklas, that's a thing.
Well, you're going to be sitting number 2, number 3, number 4, and I would say for Jacob Libbus, he better make sure he doesn't miss either one of his next 2 shots. Oscar Eriksson now will be asked to just come down and tap that back and flop in. It's still going to be subject to the same shot that Libbus just played, and Nathan Malberg almost made perfectly, just was probably 1.5 feet heavy.
Yeah, given that this is Oscar's last one of the end, I thought he might have made a move on that shot rock and tried to roll to the other side.
Yeah. This one's got to move.
Yeah, I got 12-6 on this. This looks heavy.
Be okay, but didn't quite get to where
he
wanted to go. Yeah. Been wide open. Pretty good opportunity for Jacob Libbus here to get rid of this rock, get a little roll to the left as we look at it in the long view, and it's and take away a couple of these other shots. Niklas then will have a challenge getting his 2.
Yeah, I definitely would like to roll under versus towards the center line. I think if he noses it, I mean, it wouldn't be the end of the world, but it certainly will leave a double for Niklas Edin with the possibility of rolling in behind.
Yeah. So it's on its way.
This should move. Yeah.
Must be close.
Yeah.
Like to get a little more curl. This looks like it's going to be really good.
Yeah.
Very nice. Could have used another couple inches, but that's nothing wrong with that. Niklas Edin going to be very persistent, though, in trying to build an end here. Only got 2 more shots to do it, though. It's going to be
Yeah, I mean, the reality is, I mean, Niklas could be 4-1, not something that he really wants, but he really does need to find a way to get this, I would think, right underneath.
Yeah, it's interesting. You mentioned earlier where he might have made a little bit of a change a few shots ago and said, "Okay, I'll be happy getting a 2," and probably was in a pretty decent position to have that happen, but opted to stay with the ultra aggressive option here of maybe generating more than 2, and now he might end up being forced to 1 here, which would not be good. Just looking
Hopefully
for
his
just
weight will
back.
be a little better.
Yeah, looking for probably back 12 now, just enough to get over there and bump that
Yeah.
out.
There it goes.
He's going to be fine.
Definitely made the shot, but it just not going to get a roll that he really needed.
No, but that's pretty good, I think, Terry. It's I mean, it's pretty good in the sense that Libbus, no matter what he had done there, if Libbus made a really good shot in this shot, he would take it away, and that's what he's going to have to do. But he does run a bit more risk here because he's a little bit behind the guard. If he's ever a little tiny bit heavy,
Yeah, and flops
be a
off of
disaster.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't bet a lot of money on a Dean missing a double.
No, neither would I.
Can't really overthink this, I don't think. I think if you throw this down here and play the freeze to it and make it that there's not much chance that Niklas is going to be able to score multiple points. I don't even know how much you want to move it though.
You know what? I don't even think you need to.
No, it's
Do
not
ya?
really going to get you anything, I don't think. Well, it might leave you sitting 2, but I think right now you want to make sure that you're preventing a 3 or a 4 here more than whether you give up 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So you're not taking a lot of ice, so he is going to play to move it. Oh, Jacob Libbus with his final rock here in the second end, holding a 3-0 lead over Niklas Edin. And he's not in bad shape here, but he is in a position where he needs to make this shot. Can't afford to give it up, or you're going to maybe give up a lot of points.
Yeah, I almost thought that Dusty was looking at playing like a board shot double, but
it's a big shot. Be
And I
interesting
don't
if he
think
hits
you
it right
need
on the.
to.
Yeah, no, sorry, Terry.
Yeah.
It's looks like if he ever hits this on the nose, it'll be interesting to see if Edin does make a play on the double or not. It would be a tough double, and
Yeah, he got it at the center line there, so should be fine in that.
it needs to curl.
It
It's
needs to curl. Wow.
definitely heavy.
Yeah. Shot for 3 by the looks of it coming up.
Yeah, he will not be. Yeah, well, it's close.
4 maybe.
Yeah, 4 with the double. That was not unfortunately that's just not a great shot for Jason Libbus. He needed to be a little closer in the weight there, and I don't know why they thought they really needed to move that very much. I
don't either.
Yeah, I would have been erring on the side of being T-line or even that just did the rock versus trying to move it. As soon as you try to
Yeah,
move it, go ahead.
Yeah, we don't know. I mean, it could be a nose for 3. I don't know. I tend to think that the back red is out counting the yellow on the side, but I mean, definitely this double there.
Yeah, true enough. It's it's you could be looking at just a 2 right now if he ever doesn't move that back rock. Plus got some gyrations going on there. He's had so many hips and knees and back problems over the years. He probably has to loosen everything up sometimes. And
Right. The only thing you don't want to do here is jam on that red, and you cut yourself down to 1.
throwing some weight at this.
Yeah.
And I think it's close, really close.
Yeah.
What a shot.
What a shot.
So there goes a 3-0 lead that Jacob Libbus worked so hard to get in the first end. Niklas Edin picks up a 4 here in the second end. We'll talk a little bit about that when we come back, with Niklas Edin leading 4-3 after 2 ends here at the Curling Stadium Speedy Creek shootout in Swift Current, Saskatchewan.
Team Homan rocks. Team Mowat rocks.
But who rocks harder? On April 7th, we'll find out. Presented by Rio Mare, join us in Toronto at the Curling Group's first ever Battle of the Sexes, as world number 1 team Homan takes on world number 1 team Moen in a head-to-head charity curling skins game with a twist. 8 ends, 4 rule changes, and curling like you've never seen before. Watch it live on the Grand Slam of Curling website, app, and YouTube with celebrity coaches and special guest appearances. The Curling Group's first ever Rio Mare Battle of the Sexes, April 7th, Mattamy Athletic Center in Toronto. Get your tickets now at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of Curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at the RockShop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of Curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. The RockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
So we're back for the third quarter here of our football game, 4-3 lead for Niklas Edin after 2 ends of play. I would have thought that. It's a little bit of a miss there, Terry, I think, really, and maybe a missed call, maybe a missed throw or whatever from Jacob Libbus here, and that ended up costing him some points.
Yeah, I mean, there were some calls earlier in the end, that you could possibly question. Certainly, we all have our way of playing an end, but I think that what they decided with Jacob's last shot, they actually wanted to move it, the shot rock, and I just don't think that they needed to. And as it turned out, he missed the shot almost completely, but just chipped it, rolled out, back 12, leaving Niklas with double takeout for 4. And I think we're going to see that right here and right now. Here's that final shot of Niklas's out turn draw with a lot of weight, a lot of rotation. Sweeper's just kind of following the rock down and just get the piece of it and count him up.
Yeah, that was a great throw. It's yeah, you're right. The sweepers didn't have to do anything on that shot, and
yeah, that was Niklas saying, "I'll see your 3 and I'll take 4."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. But anyway, if you're Jacob Libbus' team, you need to kind of forget that somehow and realize that you're just down
1-0.
Yeah, exactly.
You're down 1-0.
Yeah,
with the hammer.
Hard to do when you have a 3-0 lead over someone like Edin, and all of a sudden you got a 4-3 deficit in one end. But regardless, they'll figure it out. They played a lot of good teams, and they're a good team. So we'll see what happens. They got a couple corners to work with already, so that's good.
Yeah, and that's a good shot there. Getting a double by Michael Hendricks.
Boy, some awkward looking sweeping stances nowadays in there. There's
yeah.
Very well done.
Actually, that might have been Zachary Polyuk.
Yeah, it was second stone. So yeah, I think you're right.
That's right. Yeah.
Rasmus Rana now. It's getting rid of a corner.
And off the red, yeah.
Yeah, pretty good shot. Puts his rock into a place where he can use it if he needs to. And
yeah.
But there's a lot to be used over there, too, by the Jacob Libbus team. So
yeah.
Get a little hit and roll here. Change this around pretty quick. 'Play Turn takeout from Polyak. This one's probably got a curl, by judging by where the sweepers are in this. Gonna get a little bit, not very much.
Yeah, no. It's funny you see that lone guy sitting behind the glass. I'm going to tell everybody that's me because I'm always wearing a red hat and it's not close enough. He's got glasses on. I can pass as that.
Yeah. It's interesting. You always wear a red hat, do you?
Yeah, pretty much. Black Hawk,
okay.
buddy.
Yeah, I know, but yeah. So Oscar Erickson now going after this rock in the house, and he will try to make a little roll behind probably his own guard.
Yeah, he's going to get
too far.
Big roll.
But it does force Libbus to do something here.
Yeah, this is where I guess you get to see, how much panic is setting in here. I love that call. You might make the double.
Yeah, you might make the double, and if you don't, and you roll on the rings, Niklas will probably go after it, which opens up this come around on this side for you on the next shot. So.
Yeah. This to me, this call isn't so much about this shot and the next one. It's about the one after that.
Yeah. So Nathan Malberg going after this one.
Yeah, it's got to curl a bit here.
Yeah, you look like you maybe in-outed a little bit there.
Yeah.
It's close. Over the top. Yeah. And
it's about stay. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Really had to stay there.
Yeah, he did. Needed to make a little bit, just a little thicker, and he would have been okay. Probably would have got both, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, because you kind of knew Niklas was going to run up and get rid of this guard.
Yeah, I would have thought so, but they seem maybe they're trying to talk him out of it a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, they might be. I mean, I would just think that it being there is helping Libbus, but
yeah,
I can see the idea of coming around it, but they're just probably going to run it, so I'd be getting rid of it myself.
I guess the concern is if you run, you're probably not going to run it towards the other red one. If you're going to run it the other way, shooter goes, then they come down and make the little hit and flop off of the yellow, and all of a sudden you made a little trouble, and you didn't have very much room to flop. But they have decided to go with the draw.
Yep.
After a little discussion, try to bit this around half or all buried, top of 8 foot, I guess, Terry, would be the spot, somewhere around there.
I think you want to leave a little piece of it showing there for him.
Yeah, a little teaser.
Yeah.
Always good when you can put a little question in the other skip's mind as to what he should play on the next shot.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just makes it a little harder when they're thinking 2 shots. And this looks like it's a little bit heavy-ish to me. And I always think everything is heavy. Oh, it is a little bit heavy, I think. Right to the back one. Well,
pretty good, when you think about it.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the run back. That's a pretty long run back. I'd be inclined, I think, to follow that down and try to set up my 2 here.
Yeah, you have the hammer.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that dictates a little bit of this shot.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see you trying to make the double and stick it, but I think that's what they're going to go with.
There, and you could end up really good here. You could double this, run this back, and have it be fully buried, and both yellow ones gone, and all that kind of stuff. So a little debris coming from the other sheet, looked like maybe the end off of a broom or something. The rubber knob at the end. Here it goes. Malberg trying to make the run back double. He might be close. Oh no. Well, now you're going to be probably. That's interesting. I think you're going to split the house here.
Yeah.
And Libbus is probably going to have to take one when this is all done. A little conversation here. I don't know. So they are. After that, they chatted it up a little bit, and they've decided to draw 8 foot on the other side. Just even with that top one would be about perfect, I think, Ter.
Yeah, I think so.
You're just trying to make sure you can't make any kind of a fancy double or roll or anything like that. And you'll give them the double on the other side. That's not going to hurt you. Niklas Edin. One sweeper going fairly hard. There he goes. Lights off a little bit, so he must be close. It's going to be a little bit deep, but probably okay. That'll be interesting to see what Jacob plays here.
Yeah, like you say, a little deep.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, if he gets the roll all the way over there, he's going to leave Nicholas with one over on the other side.
Yeah. Gonna go with the freeze. You want to be shot rock here. You want to make sure you stay a little bit on the inside of that.
Well, and I mean, Jacob probably realizes, we're forced, and again, gonna have to, in all likelihood, play a draw on his last one. So this, I don't think, was what he had in mind when he started the end, but this is the situation he faces. So try and get a rock in there that Gus will have to take a run at.
Yep.
It's funny. Names resonate, I didn't know. When I first saw these guys, I didn't know where they're from, and I thought, a team from the Mayfield club in Nova Scotia. And I go, is it Mayfield? No, it's Mayfair, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Mayflower. Yeah,
Mayflower. That's right.
Yes.
Just funny how names kind of trigger.
Yeah. Mayfair would have been a good guess though, because there's a golf club, and I don't know if it has a curling club, but there's a golf club in Alberta named with Mayfair too.
Yeah,
the Canadian women's a few years back. So it's pretty good.
Pretty good.
And he does have shot rock. That's a terrific shot. They couldn't really make that any better.
And now getting rid of it, doesn't it potentially squirt over there and?
Well, yeah, definitely not
sit on the red. Sit on the yellow.
Yeah, not a gimme for sure. I don't know if he plays it, maybe throws it hard, plays it off of that one. Is it going to go higher if he plays off of the yellow one? Or I guess he would. I think it might go over the top, Terry, but he's going to have to throw it hard.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Well, that doesn't mean it's right. I just think it, but I can be wrong more than I'm right on some of these. But I wonder if they think. I wonder who is shot. I don't know if I called it kind of red pretty quick, but not completely convinced. Right.
Yeah, it kind of makes a difference, because if it isn't red, it looks red to me, but why would Nicholas even play it? You'd be better off just to play the shot on the open one and try and just roll into the middle a bit. But
they could have just
you could definitely get shot.
Yeah, maybe they could have put the brooms to this just for 3 or 4 feet at the end and made sure that they were shot. I was worried when it came to a stop that it wasn't shot, and I thought, well, no, it is, I think, and I still think it is. But although it makes me wonder why they would play this guard if it's, because I mean, if he guards that, if he's not shot, Jacob's just drawing the 4 foot first 2, so it doesn't really. If you're going to do that, you might as well put one somewhere in the house that he has to hit at least to get 2. So it's kind of odd.
I'm with you though. I think it is red.
Yeah.
Obviously, the big concern is where you hit the red rock. Where does it go upon the contact with the yellow?
Yeah. Given that I think he's going to throw it fairly hard, I think it's going to go over top of the one in the other side of the sheet there, other side of the house.
Yeah,
Niklas is having some
I
serious
think with a
looking.
lot of rotation, I think that's quite possible.
Yeah. We're going to find out, I think, because it looks like that's what he's going to play. Not positive yet, but
yeah. Well, I mean, if they think red is shot, you can't leave that.
No.
I suppose
And,
you could leave it, try and draw. Yeah.
Well, with how hard he can throw it and everything, it just seems like, if he's shot, I think I'm taking a run at it anyways and seeing what happens. Although I don't know that they are. He has to figure yellow shot to play this shot, don't you not think, Terry?
I really do, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see playing it if you're not positive that you're a shot. I see, if you're not sure coming down and maybe cornering the red one, something other than this. This wouldn't make sense if you're not shot rock.
Yeah, because I was just going to say there, the only other option would be to try and draw your shot, to the tee line, I guess.
Yeah. So Niklas Edin throwing a guard on what we feel he has to figure is shot rock. Pretty sure that'll end up being a measure if nothing else changes.
Yeah.
These guys maybe will give us a little bit of an idea.
Yeah, and Jacob, I mean, there's the other thing that I guess they're looking at too is the center, is that the hole there where the measuring stick would go, is that right in the middle? And
yeah.
I've seen that over the course of many years of curling. Like, how the heck can that be? Well, because the hole in the middle of the ice isn't in the middle of the ice.
Quite in the middle, yeah. No, absolutely. Seen that a number of times over the years, and this time both rocks are so close to each other that you'd figure it might not matter, but at the same time, it doesn't have to be out by much.
Yeah, and I mean, I thought Jacob just kind of put the broom down really quick to start to play this draw.
Yeah. Do you ever see the day, Terry, that they might go to the laser measure that they use for the LSDs and all that stuff for this stuff?
I'd love to see that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it seems to me if it's close enough for that and they're deciding playoffs and everything from that anymore, that would seem logical to go to that rather than drag the other thing around. Anyway, here comes the draw from Jacob Libbus, looking to draw for one at least, and for him, hopefully two.
Yeah, that really have to go on this.
Yeah, I didn't get why the other sweeper wasn't helping there, but
yeah, this is light.
Yeah, I think I'm having a conversation with my sweeper over that. I think that, there's carving and all this other kind of craziness, but you got to go on something like that. I think find a way to get your spot in there too. So anyway, we'll hang around with the measures over here, I think, and then we'll see. We'll go to a commercial after that. There's another look at it. If I close one eye.
No, you can't do that, Jim.
Yeah, well,
you're not throwing at a stone from the other end.
Yeah. Just telling you, if they're the same on both eyes, yeah, pretty much the same. Yeah. My wife has some stuff going on where she's got some double vision. We had to cancel a vacation because of that, and she's being treated for that, and it's and that's how she has to do all day. She's got one eye covered. Just switch it. One, it doesn't matter which eye. She just has to cover one eye because apparently the muscles in the eye are just not working together the way they're supposed to right now. So here comes the measure.
Yeah, I had bad eyesight right from the get-go, and I had to wear a patch, and needless to say, on my it's red. Wow.
So,
dodged a bullet, Nick.
I'll tell you, that's good news for Libbus, so if that was red, because that's you'd rather be tied up than down two. So
Yeah.
So we will. We're pretty sure we got that right now. Looks like a 4-4 tie after 3 hands of play here in Swift Current, and we'll be back right after the break.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster. Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Stronger agronomics. Better returns. Greater peace of mind. From pre-seed to post-harvest, you can count on the Victory Canola program to keep you and your farm ahead of the curve. Grow with us at victorycanola.com.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I
We
just
explain
might,
about-
yeah.
oh, we'll talk about that the next break. So here we are in the fourth end. We've got a 4-4 tie with Jacob Libbus picking up 1, missing his draw for 2 the last end. And he now has no hammer. Dean has hammer. Jacob will hope he doesn't give up the same 4-ender he did the last time. I'm pretty sure he won't. That won't be the case. And Dean threw up the corner, and now he's going to come around it. So.
Yeah, and just in terms of other games around the rink, Ryan Kleider's got a 3-2 lead on Swift Current, or Steve Laycock from Swift Current. Steve Laycock team has the hammer. Ming Yu has got a 3-1 lead on Jordan McDonald, and Lucas Klima has a 4-1 lead on Sam Moybrook.
Yeah, that Klima team kind of impressed me when we had them that first game, and I thought
You mentioned that, yeah.
and his team played okay, and he played really well. So he's I think he could be a force. Could surprise a few people at the Worlds.
Another European team coming up the ranks.
Yeah, they come from everywhere. So the outturn freeze attempt now, coming for second stone, Zachary Polyak. If we have anybody in the chat that tells me I'm saying that wrong and wants to tell me how to say it, I always appreciate that every time. Last night we got a lot of help or yesterday sometime we got a lot of help from a couple of people.
Yeah, we were also very fortunate too. Likewise, getting assistance from those who are watching.
Yep. So good little shot there. So Dean looking at what he's going to do. He is allowed to peel stuff now, so he can rip that red one should he decide to do that. I would expect that's probably what he's going to do in some form or fashion, play that front red and see what he's going to get out of it. Could get them all. Maybe not. The other red one probably jabs on the yellow, but you get a lot of them moving, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Rasmus Rana. That didn't quite go the way it was planned, I don't think, but he has changed the red one for a yellow one now, which for Edin would be good. Jacob looking to come right around again. Try to keep the pressure on. Like to see that. It's one game must be over already. Walking behind the sheet there.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
Yeah. The I was thinking of something there. I kind of lost it. Oh yeah, no, Terry. What do you think? So in Jacob's case here, where he drops that 4-ender to Edin, and then this last end, he comes up pretty well short on his draw for 2. You think does your confidence start to get a little shook up by stuff like that? Or is that do you think he can just park that stuff, or is that playing his mind a little bit at this point?
Well, I mean, you just have to have a strong mind and be able to get yourself quickly back in the present. Nothing's going to change, and that's what you see with a lot of those high performance athletes and working with mental coaches. Like kind of you need to stay in the present right here, right now. I mean, you're not going to change anything that's happened. The time to do the analysis is after the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it certainly can rock your confidence. Even just I tend not to watch other people throw that often, just because you everybody releases it different, and some have a really positive extension. So I tend to watch the rock from halfway down and try and leave it there. But I know even then things get stuck in my head too, like, ooh, did you see how that took off? And it's like,
yeah,
you hear, well, he threw it bad, or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's I think part of team play does include that kind of discussion with your team at times. If you see a rock that took off, and you think it picked, like, I think you just got to put that out there and not keep quiet, and let somebody on your team say, hey, no, I don't think that picked, because you've got these players now going up and down the sheet watching opponent rocks and everything. So yeah.
So the run back attempted around. Thanks for that. The run back from Rana didn't catch anything in the house. So he's just the guard's gone, and Jacob Libbus sitting pretty good right now, throwing up a guard with his third. Nathan Malberg will try to guard one of these two in the house. They look pretty comfortable with where it is. He's guarding the high one. There they are.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good too. The Dean's now going to look to run the red into the red and into the other red, and hopefully get a couple of these out of play and not have that center guard back up there. So if he only gets the one at the top, then I think Libbus will probably end up guarding the one just off the button there and try to live that one till the end, ride that one till the end. Oscar Eriksson, generally accepted to be one of the top 2 or 3 third stones in the world.
Look at this.
Well, yeah, got a lot of stuff moving. Didn't get rid of a lot of stuff, but did move it out of the 4-foot area, which is at least good. Left a guard for Libbus to work with a little bit. So
yeah, but again, now it's Nicholas's guard that he's going around.
Exactly. Yeah. And if he's buried, he's not going to be almost biting the button. So, yeah, 3 rocks each to come. Malberg will be asked to throw an intern come around here. Nice, a little straighter than we've seen at the start of this event and last week. It just doesn't have quite as much ice. They're not taking quite as much ice to make this, but again, looks heavy to me. But Be back there a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to be way back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not too helpful. Guys got to find their weight.
Yeah, because that allows Niklas now to use the corner guard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I see I've changed seats, behind the glass.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, if you're like the Blackhawks, you're getting further away from the action.
Touche, buddy, touche.
Oscar Eriksson now looking to bury. Behind the corner. Rana gonna try to hold it straight for a minute.
Yeah, they're by the guard.
Yeah, they're coming down to a stone, so.
I got 15.
15? That's a nice speed.
Yeah.
For sure. Great shot. Absolutely perfect shot. For Jacob Libbus now. He's going to have to play that same shot. Jacob's going to have to find his draw weight here. He hasn't been totally bang on. He did throw the... Did he throw or just throw the freeze last end that ended up being shot rock? I guess maybe his third through that one. But anyway, either way, he needs to find it really good right here because this has to be perfect.
Yeah, sometimes you don't put too much stock into, well, yeah, we didn't make the exact shot that we called, but it's still in the rings. Well, yes, true, but it opened the door for Team Edin to make the shot that was just executed by Oscar. So now an outturn draw, trying to replicate that shot of Oscar's. This is real close too, but it might just bounce off. Yeah. Just another example of how hard those freezes are. So I think we might have lost my fellow.
You did. Oh. I'm back.
Oh,
yeah.
There he's back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Talking away. I had a cough there, so I hit the mute button, and then it's a good thing you said that because I was only talking to myself there for a while. So I had to unmute myself.
That's right.
But yeah, no, you're right. It's you don't have to miss by very much sometimes to be what really is a big miss. It's unfortunately that rock there probably could have been 3 feet lighter and then just make it up with the brooms and get the little curl at the end, or a couple of feet lighter at least. He couldn't afford to bounce off it.
Yeah. Now Niklas is going to try and make a little hit and roll.
Yeah. It is possible that if he doesn't roll far enough, he rolls this to the center line. There might be a double there for Jacob, though, because it's not going to be real flat unless he gets over far enough. Yeah, that's where he'd like to be. Niklas Edin first skips rock here in end number 4.
They're not laying a brush to it.
They are not. No, this one's may roll out.
Yeah, I think it is gonna. It's heavy too. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Niklas won't be happy with that. That was not real close.
Yeah, no. Yeah. He's a perfectionist, so
yeah,
that won't even come close to being a shot.
So Jacob Libbus now with a chance to duplicate the shot he just threw, just be just that little tiny bit better. Wasn't far off last time. If he can find a way to take just 2 feet off of that shot, he'll be perfect. Watching Nicholas kind of get ready to throw and everything makes me think, and with all the health stuff he's gone through and all the operations and everything, I would not be very surprised to see this be his last crack at the Olympic cycle kind of thing. Just that he would shut her down after this run, possibly. I mean, it seems like every single year when the season ends, he has to have 1 or 2 operations. So.
Yeah, but you know what, Jimmy, he's driven hard, man, by success.
Yep. Yeah, maybe I have to rephrase that. If he doesn't win at the Olympics, which is possible, then I don't know if he'll keep going. But anyway, let's see how Jacob makes out. First of all, this is a U25. This is a next gen team, actually.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, they look older than that, but they aren't.
Yeah, see, he's got that in-out motion when he puts on that turn because he starts with the north-south handle position.
We see that a whole lot with the teams that play on the tour.
Yeah.
But
this looks like it will be light, isn't it? Oh no, they're going hard. This is close.
Really close. Just needs to not over curl. That's
he's got shot. Yeah, very good.
That's a great shot by Jacob Libbus. We were giving him a bit of a hard time there, but that was certainly a beauty. 1 sweeper here.
Yeah, right here they're trying to keep it straight and
to
hold the line, and he did. They hold the line. Great angle on it and shot rock.
Yeah, so you give Jacob the 2 out of 4 and give the sweeper 2 out of 4. You end up with a 4 out of 4 on that shot. So it's all good. That was a heck of a shot, though, really. And just absolutely perfect. He bounces, it would be the same scenario we had a minute ago. Or if he over curls a little tiny bit, like he did the last end, or like he almost did the last end, Nicholas would just draw it for 2. Looking at whatever's down there. I don't know. We didn't get a chance to really look to see if there's any options for a big score here, but
I think you forced Nicholas to 1.
Yeah, we can flip on the overhead for a second there, Connor, if you got it, and we'll just kind of have a quick peek. So having a look at it there. Yeah, it'd be pretty hard without being able to get to the nose of that red. It'd be pretty hard to bring anything but the one point into play, I think. Although he may see something else because he seems to be playing some kind of a tap, or this got to curl a long ways. This got to curl a lot. Starting to come off the line now.
Yeah, he's looking for a little chap and roll, I think. He's going to need more chap than roll.
Yeah. Surprise call that for me. I thought you just draw the 4-foot the opposite direction, to be honest.
Yep,
So,
me too.
Yeah, Jacob Libbus does pick up a steal here, though. So he will take a 5-4 lead into the 4th end break, and we'll be back with you here in Swift Current just right after the break.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
That's true too.
Yeah. So we're back in a real nail biter here. We got a 5-4 lead for Jacob Libbus out of Edmonton, Alberta, over Niklas Edin from Sweden. Both skips have made some good shots, and they both kind of given a little bit away here. So
yeah,
that was a different kind of a steal that last end for sure. Jacob kind of saved the day, forced Niklas to play a shot that we didn't really think he'd play, Terry.
Yeah, just kind of shocked that he didn't play that in-turn draw, but you know, I guess it was just a matter of, you know, they thought they knew the ice, and they had like kind of that option of chapping and rolling into the center, but that was, you know, weight that, you know, I don't think I would be. I just have a hard time thinking that Niklas played that kind of weight. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So the draw around the corner. Sorry, Terry, going to the back here. Try to fully bury this.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, you know, you talk about, you know, one game may be over, and that is true. Lucas Klima put a whooping on Sam Moybrook, 7-1. They didn't finish that game.
Moybrook had a good start here. He started 3-0, and I think he started 3-0, 3-0, and then
yeah, he did.
Yeah, 3 straight losses. Looked a little uninterested last night until late when he made a couple of really good shots to just end up still being beat. But
who we talking about?
About Moybrook.
Oh yeah.
The game against McDonald late last night.
Gotcha.
That worked out pretty good for Team Libbus, I think. Got rid of that corner and rolled to the center. Niklas Edin now look to move something here. They seem to be happier leaving those guards that are sort of those tweener guards in between center guards and corner guards more often than I would expect. I would think you'd be looking at the double peel here, but Niklas is really seemed to be just looking for one. We'll see here. Hit this high one, run the high one back in, maybe, and roll a little bit to the corner on the right.
I don't know, man. You got to hit a lot of that.
Yeah,
a lot of that red rock.
Yeah, it won't be rolling too far. You're right.
I thought they would have tried the double.
The double peel. Yeah, I know. I don't know why you want to leave one of them up there, but so Jacob now will look at whether or not to come around or to play the hit on this rock at the back of the 8-foot. It would be tempting, I think, to come around. I know you're up by 1 and you don't have hammer, but
I'm hitting it.
You, the old draw master. Well, the last time he fooled around with Edin and left some rocks around, it cost him big time. So I can understand the hit. The only bad part is you probably would see Edin coming around on the next shot, and that's going to decide if you're okay with that. And you might be okay with that. It's going to be in the center of the sheet. That's not a bad spot. And as we predicted,
you knew Niklas was coming around.
Yeah.
But like you said, I mean, I'm sure that 4 was fresh in his mind.
Yeah. So Rana, an out turn come around. Sundgren working pretty hard on it. Letting off a little bit now. Looks like it's going to be good. Yeah, I think it's going to be good. Guys are going on. They just want to be top 4 here.
Yeah, they are.
You're right. Buried, completely buried. This is what I didn't like about that other call, because now it's, if you reverse those shots and put yours there, Edin's probably playing the run, but so I couldn't tell for sure if Jacob's trying to make this run back or if he's going to try to make the double peel. Looks like the double peel. I think if that's an indication, no, maybe not. I don't know. It looked like where he put his broom there. If that was where he wanted to hit that rock, then he'd be looking.
Yeah, and I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just letting the sweepers and the thrower know exactly where he wants to hit it.
Yeah, I certainly. I think that when you do the what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. I think if you gave up 2, I mean, so be it. Like you're down 1 playing an even end.
Yeah, very nice shot there to get rid of all the guards. Interesting how they just have the foam on the sides of the sheets, and quite often rocks go kind of right up and over it a little bit. I'm sure all the speed comes off them, but they do have chase the odd one down. So Niklas Edin now sitting 1.
Well, it's funny you speak of that because in a lot of clubs they just have the line separating the 2 ices, and you get some of these people who are new to, well, not just new, but I'm just going to say new to stick curling, and they've found this increased power, and you've got some older skips in the house, and I've done it a couple times where I got yellow and they're looking at me like, so
yeah.
Well, that means could you get red?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we only have the line. Actually, it's kind of funny. It's just because these guys have the foam. Sometimes you probably think that foam's a little tougher to stop rocks than it is.
Yeah.
The stick curlers have there's a few of them that I've played a few of them. I'm still throwing. I don't throw with a stick, and I don't know if I ever will. Totally, I wouldn't mind. I like that actually. 2-person stick game is kind of fun, but I don't play it very often.
Yeah.
I don't really enjoy the sticks in the regular curling, and they throw it so hard sometimes that aggravates me, because at my ripe old age now, my takeouts aren't even, much more than board weight at the best of times. So I find it frustrating and dangerous. I'm just like, I've told a couple of guys in the club, and they're good friends of mine, but I'll say, guys, like, you're catching it. Like one guy in particular, his name's Daryl. I said, Daryl, you're catching this because I'm not touching it. Like, I don't care where it goes. You're catching it.
I know. I know.
Yeah. So Oscar now playing the outside one here, Terry. Just looking to maybe hit that flop over. You have to have a bit of an imagination when you're trying to watch these guys play sometimes, just because they do play some shots that you might not think you would play.
Yeah.
Like that one even. It's a good shot, I think. Not number 2, but...
Yeah, and Niklas does have he's very creative.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing when you got players who can make the shots. So the double probably is sort of there. It's you're gonna, even if you can get over to it, you're probably not getting rid of the one that's in the 12-foot because it's going to jam on the other spot. But he's going to go after the same one.
Yeah.
Why would they not hit? Why would he not? At least in Jacob Libbus' case, why would he not hit that
shot rock?
The shot rock, yeah. I don't sure I understand that. Only 3 rocks to come.
Yep.
Nathan Malberg. I think you have a better chance of separating your rocks even a little bit if you hit that one. But anyway, this is what they're playing, so just needs to make sure he gets to the nose of this. Doesn't want to hit his own. Oof. Worked. I just think the double now is just easier than it would have been if you hit the other. I'd love to hear an explanation on that one, but and I'm sure they have one. I'm sure there's a reason. I just don't know what it is.
That's where we need to, after an end, have one of them mic'd up and call it between the sheets.
Yeah.
Or between the ends.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Benny might have between the sheets copyrighted.
Yeah. No. What is his? This is it's the Sheet Show. Between the Sheets is the book that.
Oh right, yeah.
What's her name? Who wrote that? Cheryl Bernard, maybe? Yeah, Cheryl Bernard, I think, wrote that book. I'm not sure if that's right, but somebody did. So here's the double attempt. Not going to make it. Surely they'll hit the shot rock now. That's a tough double. I don't think I'm playing that. Why even take that on, to be honest? You probably... Oh, maybe they might play it. I wouldn't play it. I'd hit that one that's on the... Even against Niklas Edin, I'm still hitting that one that's on the top of the 4-foot.
It just feels like you're potentially trying to help Niklas here score 2.
I know, yeah.
And of course, one in out, and you jam that on the red one. That's
Yeah.
I'm with you. I think I'm playing the shot rock all day.
Yeah. Lots of discussion. It's just, what, I'd play the double if it was a little bit easier. It's a long way to get across and get it out of play, and you might still jam it on the other one, which means you're going to leave a double for sit 2 anyway. So I don't know. It seems to me to make sense to. And he finally is playing that. He finally realized we know more than they think we know, Terry.
Yeah, my question is, where are you rolling to? Like, are you rolling to the open side of the sheet, or that's what I was trying to figure out when they were, tapping this and tapping that, and.
So Cheryl Bernard actually has 2 books. Okay, so here's Jacob Libbus. With his hit, he'll try to separate these 2 a little bit, but...
Gonna have to go on this.
Yeah, it looked like he kind of... turned it. Get a little closer, get a little better look. Oh, he's going to be good. Going to be real good. There is a double for Edin, but it's a tough one. I don't think you could have made it any tougher.
Yeah. And you make it, you leave a double.
Yeah. Yeah, true enough. Which, not to say he won't try to make it.
No, exactly.
Just a reminder, everybody, we do have 3 draws today. We have the semifinals coming up next, and then the finals after that, obviously, as we work our way towards a champion here at the Curling Stadium Speedy Creek Shootout. We'll be covering both semifinals and the finals. Look forward to seeing you take it in. And if you can like and subscribe to our channel here on YouTube, that's even better. We appreciate you taking the time to do that. Niklas Edin now. Looks like an outturn coming down here. He will definitely have some weight on this.
In rotation.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Ooh, scares me, those sweepers.
Yeah, this is
be in
close.
the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Real close. Will he get it? Does he have enough? No. Good try by Niklas Edin. Good shot, actually. It's not just a good try, a good shot. He didn't make the double. You see it here. A tough double. He threw quite a bit of weight on this and hit it perfect. I don't know, Terry, if he would have got a little more action off of that if he'd thrown the other turn. And
Yeah.
a little bit more speed coming off the first one, but regardless, pretty good effort. Jacob Libbus now will attempt to just move this, and I guess he doesn't have much choice but to flop a little bit towards the corner, Terry.
Yeah.
He really would like to not be right on the nose. If nothing else, he'd like Niklas to have to play the raised double takeout or something to get his 2 versus just an open hit.
Yeah. No, he really does have to be careful because, I mean, it without, kind of exaggerating the importance of the shot, I mean, you could hit this, on the high side, leave the yellow one there, roll out, and leave Niklas with a opportunity for 3. So precision's needed here.
Yes, you're definitely right. That could happen. And respecting the announcer's curse, I avoided that. I've been accused of a few of those since the start of the year. Even every now and then, even if somebody at the curling club will say to me, like, why would you mention that? Or something like, well, I think I'm supposed to.
Yeah,
Wow.
just it's a possibility.
Yeah, the guy missed right after you said that. I'm like, okay. I'm pretty sure you didn't hear me.
Yeah.
Out turn from Jacob Libbus. A little bit in, out again. So hopefully he hasn't set it back too far. They're not trying to make it curl, though. Must be.
It looks pretty
close.
good.
Yeah. Got to get it by.
Oh, look at it go. He's not by. Oh, my God.
Such a bad call in the house. That's
oh, my God.
Not
Shot
good.
for 3 now. Wow. Out of nowhere. I mean, didn't make it the 3 possible by the way we talked about it, but like they're not doing anything here.
No, till right there. It might have jumped a little bit on him. I will give him that it may well have jumped because it did seem to go from nothing to a panic almost, and really unfortunate situation though. However, for whatever way it happened, it's definitely unfortunate. Not a gimme for Niklas Edin. Might be easier for Niklas to come down on that play, almost the same shot that Jacob was playing, to be honest. Just come down, just tap the yellow onto the red. That might be easier than going through here. Would be for me, maybe not for Niklas, but
yeah, I don't think that would sit well on my eye.
Oscar pointing out the possibility it might not curl, I guess, off that yellow, but
well, and two, again, yeah, typically when you got the hammer, you start out thinking about 2, and that might be, just something that Oscar yelled down, if our tolerance is, hitting it high.
Yeah. Yeah, the more I think about that last shot, I just think it had to just pick something up a little bit, or caught a little flat spot or something that kind of grab it off the line there. Just too quick. And Niklas Edin now with a hit for 3. Hard to stay on this, but definitely possible. Got to just sneak by his zone at the top, which was what makes it a little bit tougher because you're going to err on the side of keeping it out there. Looks like he's going to roll out.
Yeah,
Oscar was right that he had to get by the other one. He didn't get by the top one by much, but Niklas Edin will make the hit for 2. And after 5 ends of play, he will take a 6-5 lead to the 6th end. We'll be back after the break.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardlines Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Saskatchewan, you know Sasktel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With Sasktel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. Sasktel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
The people have spoken, the votes are in, and the players are ready to rock. At curling's first ever All-Star event, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th, where 13 of the world's best men's and women's curlers face off for a star-studded celebrity pro-am, a unique skills competition, and an all-star skins game you won't want to miss. Got a ticket? We'll see you in Music City. Don't have one? Better hurry. They're going fast. The 2025 TCG All-Star Game, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th. Let's rock.
Hi, I'm Jane.
And I'm Rick, and Jane and I are the owners of Sprague Foods Limited here in Belleville, Ontario, in the Bay of Quinte area. We're a food processing facility, and we can a whole range of products, including soups and sauces and rice pudding and beans.
So we're back for end number 6 now, with Edin picking up his 2 in the fifth. He takes a 6-5 lead, and Terry, that kind of came a little bit out of nowhere there in the last end.
Well, it really did. I mean, we were watching Jacob's last rock as it came down. The sweepers really weren't doing a whole lot. Another example, though, I think of you gotta keep your brooms down, and it like you think it picked, but regardless, it just ticked the top guard, didn't get by, and gave Nicholas an opportunity really to score 3, but he played it safe and ensured himself of 2.
Yeah, that was the only saving grace. Was it left everything sort of with a little bit of difficulty there at the back to get the 3, so escaped that at least.
Yep.
So we got our little regular box that goes up here with the guard, the corner guard, the come around, and the come around, and the corner. So we're see where they go from here. Sixth end, big end for anybody to score. We say that all the time, but certainly for Libbus with hammer, he would definitely he'd probably like to score more than 1, but he doesn't want to give up a steal in this end for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think it's paramount that your whole end of play is to score. If it's more than 1, that's a bonus, but 1 is a priority.
Yeah, exactly. So Rasmus Rana here.
This is gonna curl.
Trying to get over to this. He's not going to quite get there, I don't think. Yes, he will.
The weight's gonna save him.
Yeah.
Good play.
So expect to see Jacob rip the guard here. He could get all of these if he hits it right. He's not going to maybe try to. I'm not sure, but I think I'd take a shot at moving something off the back there. Terry, what would you do?
Me too.
Yeah. Because it's just so good. He's not going to make it any better. I always look at it that way. Figure, well, if he can make a better guard, I don't want to do this, but he definitely can't make it any better guard. So let's get rid of it. And I might be not too disappointed if I can pick up one of these off the house. So
yeah, in turn, if a little high side, and you're right.
Yeah.
At least one of them in the house will go, and maybe as you say, both.
Yeah. Sweepers on a little bit, so it's curling up. Got one, bit unlucky there. Bit unlucky to only get 1. He could have probably thrown more weight than that. I think
I thought they were, yeah.
Yeah, that was almost like a normal weight. Maybe they were thinking more about making sure they save the shooter, but I would have had him throw a flat out peel of that baby. Anyway. So Nicholas, too bad we don't know what Nicholas is saying, because he always talks a lot. All of his games, he talks a lot. but always in Swedish, never in English. So he speaks very good English, but he just doesn't speak it during games naturally. It'll be interesting what they decide. They're trying to decide what to do here. They're going to hit number 3 and roll 6 feet to the center line.
What do you think the logic is here?
Yeah, I just have to believe it's just elimination of any potential scoring, but it, I don't know. I'm like you. I sometimes think, well, I just don't know why hitting this one. I guess later on, maybe somewhere there'll be more rocks in play and it might come up, might have a chance of scoring. But I thought he might just kind of duck around the center even and say, well, there you go. You figure out how to get rid of them all.
Yeah.
Big shot here now. We're down to the second stone, sixth final shot. Really does need to make something happen on this one, and no reason why he shouldn't be able to. Still not going to be big weight.
Well, it's a lot more than they threw in the last one.
You are correct, yeah. And he's going to get something. Will he
Yeah.
get them all? He
All of
does.
them, yeah.
Oh, almost got a really nice result there. I guess you can't get everything. Sometimes the angles just aren't right to get everything. You can see it again.
Yeah,
See
he
that
picks
the-
the top one out, and which makes contact with the back one.
Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. Great shot. I'd be happy with that. Not out of the woods here yet, but
No, for sure.
a big step towards it, though. So Oscar now will be looking to come around that guard. And going hard on this right out of the gate. This has got to be light. I can't imagine it's not.
Yeah, they're really working it.
Yeah.
It's on the guard. As you said, it's light.
Yeah, not really close either, Terry. Like he's probably not biting the 12-foot if he gets by. So
Yeah, no, it's not for sure.
So Jacob Libbus decides it's time for him to take a little bit of initiative and trying to score here, and he's going to come around this one. I didn't know for sure that he would do that. I thought he might actually hit the one at the back of the 8-foot, try to roll in. But I like this call. I think it gives him a better opportunity. Nathan Malberg, third for Libbus. Needs to curl, needs to slow down a little bit, but I think the weight's close.
Yeah, it is. I would just like to see the front end have their brooms,
Yeah.
cleaning it.
Yeah. Well, 2 feet less is a really good shot.
Yeah.
Look for the freeze here from Oscar.
Yeah, the winner of this game gets the winner of the Ryan Kleider Steve Laycock game, and right now Laycock's got the hammer, but playing 7, but it's down 5-3. And the other quarterfinal that hasn't been, or that's still in play, got a barn burner on that sheet. Ming Yu and McDonald are tied 3-3, and undefeated Ming Yu has the hammer playing 6. Here's an excellent stone being thrown.
Yeah. Didn't get shot, but that's secondary. Yeah, when you get to this level, you just shots at it, you're playing in your club. That shot before that is just Jacob's previous shot is a great shot. But
Yeah.
Here, it's like it's almost hard to score it more than about a 1 out of 4 or something, or out of 5 or whatever, because it's as soon as it slides behind that tee line, it's a problem.
Yeah, they would have loved that to have been right where Niklas's shot is.
Yeah. Yeah. So Nathan Malberg now will come down to it. I don't know if at the end of it, he wants to move it at all or not. Libbus is shot right now. So I don't know, but it's going to be very, very difficult to get to. And that's where the dilemma comes, because we said previously that we think it's really important end to score. So 1 is big, but
Yeah, if he just chaps and rolls off of it, it's going to be maybe problematic, but he doesn't.
I think that's pretty good, Terry.
Yeah, it is. I think so too. Leaves Niklas with a little bit of a dilemma.
Yeah, it's not easy for him to remove.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how easy it is for Libbus to actually tap the red on the yellow and move it far enough to count 2 if this was, another shot or 2 later. I don't know, but I think it's possible.
Yeah, I think, Niklas in a perfect world could play that almost, nose. And I think it would, the yellow would move the shot rock stone enough.
Yeah, you might be right.
But certainly the guard is, would be, I think, a more traditional call.
Yeah, I think that what you're describing is certainly a shot that you would play if you needed to play it.
Yeah.
Down 1 and pretty near have the guy forced to taking his 1 here. By throwing a guard, leave you tied up playing 7. That might be the better situation rather than try the alternative. Because if you try that and it goes a little bit off on you, you could be in trouble. So I think you settle on a guard.
I think so. Yep, that looked like the call.
Yeah. It'll be interesting where he actually positions this, because if he gets right to the center line, Jacob Libbus could certainly come around it and sit 2. Or if it was the last shot, he'd get around it to score 2, but I don't know. Niklas might be trying to keep it out off that center line, 5-6 inches at least, leave no real port, but yet take a little more of the draw away.
I think that's what makes the guard attractive.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the draw's still there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But again, same situation as before. Make sure you don't slide this just to the back of the button or something.
Yep.
That's easier said than done sometimes. So Jacob Libbus trying hard to get his deuce here in the 7th end, or 6th end rather.
Yeah. Yeah, currently down 1. Blind 6 with the hammer.
Where did you want this, Terry? Would you want to go right to the button, sit 2?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm so torn between, just coming in and trying to jiggle it a little, but I don't like coming right around.
No? Okay. He's on the guard anyway.
Yeah, no, he's
maybe
past
not.
the guard. No,
Well,
I just think this potentially helps.
Wow. That is a great shot.
It is.
Like it or don't like it, it's a great shot.
Yeah, yeah.
Just going to have another look here. I thought he was going to be on the right here. I'm thinking he's on the guard. But they managed to get it by. Actually got it by a solid inch. And just by the top one.
And I guess my fear is really, I mean, not warranted because given where that ended up, which was the call, I don't see how Niklas can get there and get shot. So that was my big worry, is that he gets it another 3-4 inches back there, and Niklas has that to come to.
Don't you think if you're Niklas here, you have to just play a little bit safe and don't try one of these run backs? I just say, well, I'll come around there. He's going to get us 2, and that's all he's going to get, because he really doesn't have anything else. I don't think that he'd play. He's only got one Red Rock out there that could be promoted in, and I don't know that you'd ever try that.
You are talking about Niklas, though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
and I'm going to guarantee you that Niklas has practiced these run backs a million times.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And he certainly looks like he's on the verge of playing it or something close to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not convinced that he's going to be able to get enough out of it. But anyway, we're going to find out, which is much more fun than seeing him throw just a guard of some sort. There's also a possibility his yellow one disappears here is the only other thing.
True.
But if it does, probably not any worse off than you are right now.
And I take it they're running the middle one.
The middle one, yeah.
Yeah.
So the middle one onto the red, and maybe even touching the yellow. But yeah, anyway, getting rid of a couple of reds here is what the plan is. I don't know that he can get much better than that. I still think that Libbus will have no worse than a draw for 2, but
jumped it.
We shall see.
Now they're off. Obviously, it's close. Still sits 2.
Yeah, I'm still not convinced that there was anything there for him, but whatever. It is 2, and it is going to be a very difficult 3 for Jacob Libbus. Yeah. Even though he just threw this exactly perfect shot, but he's got to come by the red one and stop. He's literally got the size of the head on that broom is how much room he has to draw to. From 100 and how long is the rink? 26 feet or something like that.
Don't ask me. I
used to know that, but anyway,
I did too.
from way down there, he's got to throw it to the size of that broom head and make it. So,
but I mean, again, if you're Jacob Libbus, you just got to be tickled that in an end that you really had to score, you're sitting 2 without throwing.
Exactly. Yeah. His first shot was terrific. That was a bonus.
Yeah, great shot.
And for Niklas, I think he looks at this and probably figures he's still only giving up 2 just because I think it's really hard.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose if you were ever heavy, you could tap the red, and only. Well, no, you'd still get 2, wouldn't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, you wouldn't. So
No,
yeah. So I guess
you don't want to be too heavy on this.
Yeah,
no, right. Yeah. If you're heavy, you're going to want the sweepers to let everybody know that right away and try to miss the whole shoot batch down there. So
burnt it.
Yeah. So here it comes. He does have to miss his, to be honest, to be able to score here, and he's going to be close.
This is really close.
This is really close. Can't see it yet. Holy
Oh,
smokes, he
oh
did not
wow.
make it, but he deserved to make it with that shot. But wow, that was a great effort.
Certainly was.
But Jacob Libbus will pick up 2 here in the 6th, which was what his goal was at the start of the end, and he will take a 7-6 lead over Niklas Edin into end number 7 when we come back to Swift Current.
Team Homan rocks. Team Mowat rocks. But who rocks harder? On April 7th, we'll find out. Presented by Rio Mare, join us in Toronto at the Curling Group's first ever Battle of the Sexes, as world number 1 Team Homan takes on world number 1 Team Mowat in a head-to-head charity curling skins game with a twist. 8 ends, 4 rule changes, and curling like you've never seen before. Watch it live on the Grand Slam of Curling website, app, and YouTube with celebrity coaches and special guest appearances. The Curling Group's first ever Rio Mare Battle of the Sexes, April 7th, Mattamy Athletic Center in Toronto. Get your tickets now at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock!
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of Curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at the RockShop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of Curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. The RockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
End of 6 ends. So we are in the 7th end here at the Curling Stadium Speedy Creek Shootout Playoffs quarterfinals. Action between Jacob Libbus from Edmonton, Alberta, and Niklas Edin out of the great country of Sweden. So, Terry, last end, Libbus got 2. Pretty much did it all on his own.
Yeah.
I think, yeah. Well, not all of it, but he almost made a great shot in his last one.
Yeah, well, that first one he threw didn't leave Nicholas a whole lot of room to kind of move into a potential scoring situation. He's thrown his last one, which we talked about the probability of making it was very slim, but Jesus, he gave it a valiant effort and came real close.
Yeah. Yeah, he sure did. That was really, really close.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think Nicholas wants to try and ensure that, he leaves himself an opportunity to blank this end.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
They're talking about moving a stone of Libbus into the rings. They're also talking about, since it's not on the center line, that high guard, just kind of playing a little split.
Yeah, it's kind of a funny look because I don't think either one of these rocks are touching the center line, so they can move either one of them. But they're both really close to the center line. They just aren't on the center line. So.
Mm-hmm.
Good crowd taking in the game this morning. I hope you're all enjoying it as much as we are enjoying bringing it to you here on the Curling Stadium Network. Somebody had a little roll down back there, but Sundring just went down for a little spill. And
really
nice
good
shot. Yeah. We don't see that very much anymore. It seems like people forget
you're
about it.
right.
Even when it's possible to play it, they seem to forget that they can do it. So good to see that now. First, we're going to see the little roll down back there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So perfect weight for this shot. Just trying to move this guard over. It can't, reminder, it can't go out of play. If the red one were to go out of play, it would come back. So, but it didn't. So perfect shot by Christopher Sundgren.
Yeah, and we now know that the winner of this game is definitely getting Rylan Kleider because he stole a big 5 on Team Laycock, and that game's now over. So the winner is going to play Ryan Kleider, and kind of just a quick update on the other semifinal that's still in play. Jordan McDonald just stole 2 and 6 to take a 5-3 lead on undefeated Ming Yu.
Ooh. It's a big one for Jordan, as we talked about earlier.
Yes. Wouldn't that be interesting? Because it's all set up for McDonald to play Kleider here.
Yeah.
Just need the cooperation now.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a couple other teams that are not going to go for that, but
no, I know.
Yeah, they're party poopers, those guys. But anyway, we might end up with a final that means a lot more than winning the no disrespect, but more than winning the Speedy Creek shootout here.
Yeah.
But we'll wait till we get there. We're not there yet. So guard going back up for Libbus. Be on the center line. I don't know, how far do you think that, or how long do you think Edin will go with what would probably be the hope to blank here versus saying, well, I got to try to get my 2 because I'm not going to get to there. Be a while yet, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. He's going to play the one.
Liar,
house.
liar, pants on fire.
Yeah. I don't know who needs to be mic'd up more, those guys or us, so the players could understand what we need them to do.
Yeah, that's right.
They could back us up on this when we call one here.
Yeah, it is an extremely high guard.
Yeah. Won't have any trouble getting this to the nose.
No, no trouble at all. It's just, I think you want to make sure it gets all the way through if you want to keep the blank in play.
Yeah, so much for that.
Yep.
Announcer's curse. I'm telling you, Terry, you gotta careful with that. So Rasmus Rana now will look to remove that rock and sit 2. Or sorry, I'm backwards. I got the wrong shot here. This is Nathan Molberg. Nathan's had a pretty good game, I think, just very quietly. I haven't really had one miss early in the game that was kind of tough, but other than that, I think he's had a pretty good run.
Yeah.
Libbus looking to sit 2 after all.
Yeah.
So correct it. Got to get by the guard, though. Will he get by? He will. No. Yes, he did. I almost felt guilty.
Well, it might have just slightly touched it.
Yeah.
Because if you watch it here as it goes by, I mean, it does look like it moves a little bit.
Yeah. We're going to have a close look here.
See it just.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, he's by and they're all happy.
Yeah. I think that was just the air current inside of the Swift Current Curling Club here. Known for that. So interesting here. Niklas Edin, I thought at this point might say, okay, I'm not going to be able to blank. Let's go after the 2 and maybe freeze that one by his foot, or come around the other corner. But so far, he's still going to hang in here, hoping to get a chance to blank. Guys aren't quite on the same page on this. It doesn't seem like they're getting there. So Oscar Eriksson now going to try to make a hit and roll, I think, more so than the double. by the guard.
Yeah, just
And
kind of
gonna,
knows it by the looks
yeah,
of it.
not much of a roll, no.
Yeah.
So the longer this end goes on like this, the happier Jacob is, because he's,
Sure.
right now looking like he may end up being able to force Edin into a single, which would be really good for him. But still 3 or 4 rocks to come here, so we'll see.
Yeah, each team 3 rocks, and
Mulberg won't have to skinny the guard in this one.
Nope. They're on it right away. Keeping it clean now. I like that.
Yeah. Well done.
Yeah, now I think, Niklas needs to decide whether, he wants to chase this or...
Gonna make the big roll.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was always playing the role, but is there another way to accomplish what he wants?
Yeah, I think that on the previous shot, he looked to maybe make the roll and freeze on the red. This one's on a more like, if he plays it, just a straight roll to the back of the forefoot, but he's not going to do that anyway. He's going to play the freeze.
Yeah, I actually wondered if he might play the out, well, with Oscar, it'd be his in-turn draw around the red one, leaving it half open.
Yeah, I didn't love the idea of hitting and rolling off of that, because he's going to be back full 8 foot, and if you make it good, you pretty much force Jacob to play the come around, and I don't know if you really want that happening right now. So,
yeah,
not when you have a rock at the back of the 8 foot anyway. So here's the freeze attempt for Oscar Eriksson.
Looks all there.
Got to curl a little bit more.
Yeah.
Well, as it dies, he always has that exaggerated handle. It goes sideways when it stops. Really nice.
Pretty good. Pretty good throw.
Not bad at all. Probably can blast it out.
Yes, I would think so.
See if Jacob has that shot in his portfolio. Most of them do now. You got to decide if you really want to get it out or you don't want to get it out, because if you want to get it out, you got to hit right about where that broom is.
Mm-hmm.
And if you hit it, a little high side, it doesn't go out. So he's going to play it. I'm not sure which turn yet. The out turn looks safer to me than the in turn, but definitely there on the in turn too.
Yeah, they're playing the in-turn side.
So Jacob Libbus, skip of this squad out of Edmonton, has had it going these last few ends, so he's going in turn and going hard. Don't want to hit. You only got to hit about a half of it, I think, to make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah, or hit all of it, and that's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, that was what they were worried about, was, the possible jam, and would it roll, and would that jam leave that rock in play? Certainly one of them went over and looked at it.
Yeah. See it coming down here. He threw lots of weight. It didn't look,
Yep.
I wouldn't say that that's would be his maybe favorite shot, just because he just looked like he took a little more effort than some of those guys that throw that big a weight, but which I totally get. But an excellent shot just the same. Now, unless Niklas can put this in a perfect spot, Libbus will have a good chance of forcing him to take a single. Like you mentioned a while ago, the guard's pretty long, so if you go right to the forefoot with this shot, there's a good chance that he can come around and remove you.
I think you'd want top 8 foot, to be honest.
Shot rock, but just shot rock.
Yeah.
Yep. I would agree. Playing the out turn. I don't know that Niklas has a preference. I don't know that anybody at this level has a preference. But he's going out turn here.
Yeah, I thought, maybe he would have had Oscar play this.
Yep.
Because it's his intern and
yeah. There's not too much possibility of a jam here. There is a little bit if he can put this one just full 8 foot to be shot rock, and if it were half open and Jacob could hit it, it might be able to jam on the other rock. But anything beyond that, it would be doubtful that it would jam. So
yeah, like we said, it's a relatively high guard, as far as guards go. So to get it buried and not accessible is pretty much a no-go. This is not curling as much as they had hoped.
well, it's going to be about a third open probably.
Mm-hmm.
Not easy, but not impossible to make for sure. From the right-hander's hack, he's probably only going to be able to see just a sliver of that.
From this end, it's wide open, right?
It is. Yeah.
These are the ones you pick your weight, you put the broom down, and just trust yourself.
Yeah. And you can see where there is a possibility of a jam here if you were but hit it a little bit too thin, but
yeah, it's like you said, it seems highly unlikely.
yeah. So a big shot for Jacob Libbus here. Put himself in really good position playing number 8 if he can remove this rock and force Niklas Edin to take his one.
Yeah, that would be a little bit of a victory, I would think.
Oh, would it ever? It's on its way. Getting us a little tiny bit of in-out motion there.
Yeah, this is just about weight. If it's too heavy, it's it might be too heavy.
No, it's okay. No. I don't understand sometimes. Like there was no effort to move that rock at all. And I mean, in today's world, I just don't see how you're not carving that rock a little bit more to make sure. And there was not one single attempt at the carve. So I find that odd. He didn't hit that much of that rock. Anyway, but a good shot. At the end of the day, a good shot. He did what he needed to do. And Niklas Edin now looking at whether or not he should play the thin double for 2. Like you said, you mentioned that he didn't move it quite far enough, but
yeah, I don't think you can take that on if you're Niklas. I know Niklas would know every analytic and available and has reviewed this situation numerous times. So he knows that Tide coming home, without the hammer, the odds don't favor him. But I think I might think here's the other piece of the equation. We can make anything and everything. So let's play 8 and see if we can't force Team Libbus to make a real difficult shot to beat us.
Yep.
But I mean, the other thing too, and again, he would know all the analytics here. 2 down coming home with, is that better than being tied without?
I bet you it's probably pretty close because generally speaking, I think getting to the next end, getting to the 9th end would be more likely. But if you needed 2 with hammer, but winning the game, actually, I don't see how it would be much different. Because you're probably figuring tied after 8. If you're down 2 after 7, you're thinking you're tied after 8, and you got the exact same scenario. So, But I don't know that. I'm just guessing that. Like somebody got to send us those or tell us where to find all that information out. I'm sure it's very readily available to certain teams from Curl Canada. I think. I just don't think it's information that, because we had this conversation at coaching level, information that's always available to anybody, and I feel like it should be. So, Niklas Edin now has opted to play the straight draw for 1, which I think we would probably agree is the right thing to do here. So
Yeah. And Jerry has all those stats too.
Does he?
Yeah. He probably has more baseball stats than curling stats, but
yeah, that'd be good to have. That'll be nice to know. Nice to use.
for sure.
So a good draw for Niklas Edin. Puts it on the edge of the button for 1. And we will be tied up at 7 as we go to end number 8 with Jacob Libbus, having hammer versus Niklas Edin here in Swift Current.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster. Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at the RockShop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. The RockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Stronger agronomics. Better returns. Greater peace of mind. From pre-seed to post-harvest, you can count on the Victory Canola program to keep you and your farm ahead of the curve. Grow with us at victorycanola.com.
I have an idea.
So we're back for what should be our 8th and final end here, and definitely for our 8th end, but more than likely our final end here in Swift Current at the Curling Stadium Speedy Creek Shootout. Jim Nix with Terry Corbin on the mics as we bring you this game between Libbus and Edin. It's been a very interesting game. Started off with a 4 and a 3, so it was 4-3 after 2 ends, and mostly singles since then, but been a good game. Been some good shots. Center guards go up for Edin, having to steal in this end. He forced to take one in the last end. Considered playing a double, a really, really thin, very difficult double for 2, but chose to not do that. Give himself a chance here in the 8th to steal a point.
Yeah, I think that's a good decision. I mean, that thin double had a high degree of difficulty.
Yeah, it sure did. And his first name's not Rachel, and his last name's not Holman, so that's no point playing a shot like that. But having said that, a little different too when you're playing a shot like that for the win sometimes rather than 7th end. So to give away a win or have a chance at the last end. So Couple guards up for Edin. Rasmuth Rana. Second stone. Stone is first here. Looking to come around everything. Guards are in pretty good spots.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna come down, sit on the reds, just maybe bump them a little bit. Like to get a little more curl. Not bad.
Yep.
Just put it in that spot right behind the back of the forefoot there. Something he might be able to use later. Libbus look to try to make the double peel here. And he'll hold it straight. And he will get a great shot. Just a great shot by second stone. Zachary Polyak rather. Took absolutely everything. You're going to see it again. Couldn't have hit this better. Knew it was there, but you can know they're there, and making them's a different story sometimes. So just hit this perfect.
Very true.
Yeah. Lost one of his own, Terry, but that's irrelevant right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not often the second stone gets to throw what might be the game-winning shot, but you might be looking back at that one and saying, well, that was it. So we'll see. Lots of room, lots of rocks to go. Still at 5, or what? 5. He has 5. Edin has 4 now left. So, but there's no guards out there right now, except for the one they're trying to remove. And not going, whoa, that was so close to missing that. I thought after making such a great shot, it would have been a shame to come back and miss that one. He didn't hit very much of it, but he got enough. He's just discussing where to put this guard. Used to be kind of no doubt in this situation, you're just going to throw that center guard up and you're just going to do it and hope somebody's not going to make a peel at some time. But over the years, with ice getting faster and guys throwing it harder and everything else that goes with that, sweeping, changing, so you can do everything with it that you didn't used to be able to do, then a lot more thought goes into some of these, what used to be an automatic call here, doesn't it, Terry? I lost him.
No, I like you earlier. I was talking.
Yeah.
I was talking with the mic muted.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I think so too. You know, so you've got 4 rocks left. Like, I mean, you actually, you know, to be real about it, you need a miss out of Team Libbus. Like, I mean, you can talk about high guard, then the one around it, but you know, they're not going to leave that guard no matter how high it is. They're not leaving it. I doubt if they're ever playing shot rock. I mean, but if you ever think they do, you play the high guard, they play the shot rock, and then you throw another guard around the guard that you threw, and away you go, and see if you can't, you know, bury one on the top of the forefoot around the tighter guard. But
well, it looks like they've settled on the high center guard. McDonald's squad making their way off the ice. So their game's over. So Erickson with his first here in the 8th. And it looks like they were going pretty high with this. Oscar puts a ton of rotation on all these rocks. I assume I'm not really sure why you go quite that high with it. I'm thinking maybe figure it's a little harder to get rid of it past everything else. I'm not sure, but.
Well, I think that's where I was saying, where you hope that, you know, here Jacob plays a hit on the yellow in the house, and then you can come around the high guard a little tighter,
Yeah.
and then they'll run the top guard, and now you got a much better guard to go around
Yeah.
tight.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Or that's my logic anyway.
Well, that makes sense. They just didn't fall for it.
Yeah, you need cooperation.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Look at here. I threw that high guard to give you a chance of taking that one out.
Dean does have shot rock here. That's one thing in his favor, but if he can somehow make it work, he'd like to force Libbus to something tougher than just an open draw to the full 4-foot, but he does have that in his pocket if he wants to play it. Like you say, unless all of a sudden Libbus decides to hit that one, just gets a little nervous leaving that rock in the 4-foot and hits it. But if you do that against these guys, you're probably having a really much tougher shot on the next one. Coming a little deep there this time, probably giving up on the idea that he's going to have a chance to throw an extra guard. So same kind of strategy applied. I think Terry, if they had gone for that and hit the one in the house, and this time the only difference is he'd probably come right around now instead of throwing up the extra guard. Yeah, makes some sense.
And Nicholas will have to decide, is he going to play, kind of a make a pass at the Libbus rock, or is he going to just freeze? Is he going to try and guard his rock?
Came close to making that one.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't far off.
Yeah. Would you ever decide to guard that one you have in the house right now, Terry, and say, look, this is the best I can do. I can't seem to get a center guard, so I'm going to guard this one that's got, whatever, 2/3 of the 4-foot and make him beat me with that one? Would you ever do that? Can't hear you.
Oh, geez, I don't know how I hit that mute button, but anyway, certainly, somewhere along the line, that would be an option. I think if you throw the guard, depending on how good it is, I mean, I think Libbus is running up and, playing that. I think now with Nicholas, you're really playing the shot that you were going to play on your last shot.
Which is what? Oh, you mean play what you're going to play?
Yeah.
Going to be forced play? Yeah.
Yeah.
Going in here surprised me a little bit.
Well, he frees, you blast. I mean, if you spill all of them, then you get to throw, wherever you want your last one, whether you want to kind of get top 4. I mean, I don't think Nicholas is ever guarding that, but you throw a top 4. If he hits and stays here, I mean, it's just another rock to utilize.
So 4 rocks to go here in the quarterfinal match. Swift Current, Saskatchewan. Niklas Edin throwing a draw of some form. Looks like he was kind of try to almost corner freeze Libbus's back rock at the back of the 4-foot. Maybe in a position where Jacob can't play the double and remove it. Maybe create a little more of a barricade back there. We'll see.
This is going short.
Just a straight guard, yeah. Just playing the guard. After all that, he was just playing the guard. They never really seemed to indicate that is what they might do. So Libbus with a chance maybe to get both of these. Got to be a little bit careful though. You could make a Dean's shot rock a lot better than it is right now if you hit this in the wrong spot. It would be bad luck, but
Yeah, worst possible outcome, you chisel it over, it
Yeah.
hits the yellow and comes back to the red.
Exactly, yeah. And there's a lot of games around won on bad luck over the years, so be a little careful. Oh, driving out there, scared me. So you get the top one.
Yeah.
Not going to touch the back one, so we'll see what Edin thinks about it. Team discussion here.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you could still go, top 4 if you wanted.
Yeah. You'd want to be sitting 2
Yes.
if you were going there, so it, yeah.
Just the thing is, I mean, if you draw down to it, make a freeze, I mean, you're leaving, a shot that you just played and everybody's going to see it. So I think Nicholas is, this is, again, knowing your angles and all that stuff. They were talking about, just kind of getting it on an angle in front of that, so that or beside it, so that if he opts to play that double, I mean, there is a chance that the stone would ricochet into the red one for sure.
So Oscar's showing us where he, or seems to be showing us where he wants this. He just seems to do this a lot after Nicholas gets to the other end, though. Start to talk about what the shot is. But it looks like he more or less splitting the center line full 4 foot. Maybe a little touch to the right as we look at the overhead. I think pretty much right on there. And hope not to go any further than that, so you set up an easy double. But this would be, if he puts it there, Terry, it's going to be a decision for Jacob Libbus for sure. It's not.
Yeah, for sure.
A gimme in decision. And
yeah, if he gets this top 4, just on the center line, certainly Jacob Libbus would have to kind of walk through in his own mind what's his best option. Is it the draw? This needs to sit down.
Yeah, this looks
close.
Yeah, that's pretty good. What it does is he can't use if he hits the one on the button, he can't really use the other yellow one as a catcher, because it would drive it, might into his own kind of thing. So I don't know.
I think he's got enough room though, Jim.
Yeah.
Chances are it would remain biting the button, and certainly the yellow rock that he's making an attempt to hit would not be on the button.
Yeah, I think it's a non-issue now anyway. I think he's going to go outturn. The question is just to make sure you don't overthrow this and have it curl too much on you. Yeah.
Correct. I'd worry about it not curling enough, personally.
Yeah, big shot for Jacob Libbus. Final rock here in the 8th end. This is to secure your spot in the semifinals. Nobody doing much with this one. Sweeper on the left does a lot of that, so I never can tell what's going on by this. I don't know if this is going to go up enough, and it looks good. What a great shot. Terrific shot by Jacob Libbus as he completes the upset over Niklas Edin by a score of 8-7 here in the quarterfinals. And Terry, he'll move on to the semis, and he's playing who?
He will be playing the winner of the Laycock Kleider game.
Kleider, got it.
Which was Kleider, yes.
Okay. So that'll conclude our broadcast. Thanks for everybody for taking it in, and be sure to hang around for the semis and the finals later today. For Terry Corbin, I'm Jim Nix, and for Connor Sims on production, we thank you for watching, and we welcome you back this afternoon to the Curling Stadium Speedy Creek Shootout here in Swift Current. Bye for now.
Yeah, Libbus is just...
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed? More innovation?
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster. Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep...